This video goes over the Bates template. The Bates template is some content that we've made available for your classes as an instructor. You can pull this content into your course. A lot of it is stuff that's required, it's mandatory, whether it's due to accreditation or federal guidelines. The nice thing is you don't have to worry about what you have to include or have to type anything up or compose it yourself. It's all right here in one place to pull directly into your course. A second benefit of this is that your students then see the same information and reinforces it every class that they take, and it's a bit of familiarity for them. Okay, so let's talk about the module and what's included in it. We'll show you how to pull this into your course at the end of the video. So as you see, other than the instructions, all of the assignments are published, but none of the modules are. What that means is that everything's ready to go, but nothing will be seen by your students until you publish it. You can go in, you can move stuff around, you can change it. For the most part, there's a few things you can't touch, and we'll talk about that, but you can get everything ready to go and dialed in for your class, and then when you're ready to go, simply publish the module and everything's set. Okay, so there's 4 modules here. The first one is just your instructions. It's telling you what's required and some basic instructions on how to use it. So that you obviously wouldn't want to publish. That's just there for you. Our next module is Start Here, and this is what we talked about the stuff, the information that you want to get directly to your students as early as possible in the class. So let's actually go through these pages because some are mandatory, some aren't. The first page is Student Resources. This is mandatory. We're required to list this as part of accreditation and other requirements as well. But these are simply resources that are available to students. Everything from the way that they can get a free copy of Microsoft Word with their Bates email addresses to support services we offer like the Diversity Center, tutoring, veterans, disability services, items like that, the library. So these are all here. Please don't edit any of these and take them out. However, feel free to add to this if you feel there's something your students would benefit from. Maybe it's the cafeteria, maybe it's childcare. You're more than welcome to add additional services to this. So that's our student resources. Our next page is legal. That's exactly what you think it's going to be. It's a bunch of legal statements. It's things that, again, we're required to as part of accreditation and as part of Title IX, federal student aid, things like that. We have to put this information in here and make it available to the students. The first section is just the link to the handbook that gives them their rights and their responsibilities. The next is a statement of online academic integrity. This is required for accreditation to include this. Basically, it's in addition to talking about cheating, it's talking about some online issues like access, for example, using somebody else's password, login information, things like that. So we're required to include that. And then you have Bates statements on disabilities, on diversity, and on non-discrimination. Needless to say, these have been crafted by Bates. Please don't edit them or touch them in any way, shape, or form. These are mandatory, and we have to have them in exactly the way that they're phrased. Okay, so that's the legal page. Those are the 2 mandatory pages. The next 3 are optional. Obviously, we highly recommend them. We made them. We think there's value to them, but let's talk about them. The third page is using Canvas. It's just basically some basic information from your students about how Canvas works. What type of computer you have to have, how good of a connection you need to have, some ways to get help, and then notice at the bottom it does have the contact information for us if they can't log in, for example, our email and our phone number. All right, our 4th page is Canvas videos. These are some basic videos, especially for new students, walking them through some of the basics of Canvas. I would definitely draw your attention to that 3rd video, notifications. This is one that's a lot of help to you as an instructor, because if you have your students watch this, assign it to them, it shows them very specifically how to add a personal email and or a cell phone number to the notification. So if you make an announcement or you make an assignment, you know that it's going to their personal email address that they check or going to their cell phone, which means that they can't say, oh, I never got the assignment because I don't check my Bates email. You can point them back to the first week of class when you told them to put a personal email in there. Okay, so these are some videos for Canvas. And then our last page is simply Meet Your Instructor. This one doesn't have to be filled out, although it's nice. A lot of people incorporate this information into their syllabus as well, but it's answering what information should I include in my syllabus or on a separate page to get to my students. For example, credentials and qualifications. It's answering the question of who is this person leading a class, whether it's degrees, certification, time in the industry, teaching experience, whatever it is, you're giving your qualifications. Additionally, the course overview, it's letting the students know, here's what you're in for in the class. Here's the information you should know before you walk into my class. Here's the information you're going to learn. Here's how you're going to be assessed. So again, whether you put it here in your syllabus, this is the information you should be passing on. So those are the 5 pages, and start here. Again, once you're ready to go, you simply click on the green cloud and publish it. The next module is Mod 0. These are a couple of very basic, very easy assignments. Now you'll notice it's not a lot of points, but it's something to get your students into Canvas and using Canvas and working in Canvas, especially for students who haven't used it before. You've got 3 assignments. The first is Student Introductions. It's introducing themselves in a discussion board setting. The next one is a quiz. It has them go through Canvas, look at some of the resources that are available, and answer some questions in a quiz. The last one is Online Learning for You. It has them look on a link, it has them read an article, and then write a very short Word document and submit that to you, the instructor. In addition to getting them familiar with Canvas, one large benefit of Mod 0 is if you have some online issues, whether it's a computer that doesn't work well, an old browser, a bad internet connection, or quite bluntly, someone who just simply isn't that familiar with online and can't navigate the online environment, you're finding this out on the first or second day of class. In fact, in some cases, teachers assign this before class starts, so as soon as students enroll in the class, they get an email and can get started on this even before day 1. So if there are any issues, you know about that immediately rather than on the 5th week of the class. All right, and then the last module we have is a course feedback form. This is a 34-question survey that goes over the basics of the class. Were they able to log in? Did they get assistance? Was the course laid out properly? Was the material appropriate? Things like that. One of the nice things about using this feedback form is the online learning, by definition, occurs when you're not there. So you can't see if the students are liking the material, if they're engaged, if they're getting frustrated or angry at the material. This is an opportunity to get that information. It's really valuable. In fact, it's so valuable, pretty much every class that I've taken over the last 5 years that was online, it was required. You didn't pass the class, you didn't get your certificate, you didn't get your credit until you completed the class evaluation. So you're more than welcome to do that in order to get that information. These are the parts of the Bates template. Let's show you how to import it. It's actually incredibly simple. You just go down to Commons and click on that. So you simply go down to the search box. And there you see Bates template. And right here, notice here's the Bates template. All you do is click on it, and then click on the Import into Course button and choose the course that you want to bring it into. You can't do all of them at once, so if you want it for 5 courses, you will have to do it 5 times. But that's all you do. There's no import-export process or anything like that. You simply click on the class you want it into, and then it will put those modules directly into the class, and in a matter of seconds, at the most a minute or 2, you're then ready to go. So that's it. That's how you import the Bates template, and hopefully that's going to get some critical information to your students as rapidly as possible.